What's up, guys? Q here from Hyperstocks. Today we are going to break down Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade. We're going to go through a basic breakdown. The reason why I'm doing this is because a lot of people in my group chat have been asking for this breakdown. A lot of people across the world and a lot of traders are interested in using Thinkorswim, with it being one of the most popular trading platforms at all. So that is my favorite trading platform personally, but you don't only have to use Thinkorswim, but I always do recommend it to the people that join my chat. One cool thing about Thinkorswim and most other trading platforms is they allow you to do a cash account, in which a lot of traders are stuck with the PDT rule, or the pattern day trading rule. Therefore, they cannot make more than 3 day trades every 5 business days. Thinkorswim allows you to create a cash account in which you have unlimited day trades as long as you stick to the cash account. You can even trade options. The money does take a little bit longer to settle when you have an all cash account, but it is something that you have to sacrifice for you to get over the PDT rule, unless you put $25,000 in your account. Thinkorswim is my favorite platform because it is literally a one-stop shop for everything that you need, between the news, between indicators, between candles, between fast trading, between quick fulfillment, between level 2. There's literally everything that you need in one stop. The only thing that I don't use Thinkorswim for is probably going to be my scanners. I use finviz.com for that, and the people in my group chat already know this. They've gotten my breakdown on Finviz before. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start breaking down Thinkorswim. We're going to go through a basic breakdown so you guys understand how to use this platform and take full advantage of everything that it has to offer. So what I've pulled up here is a simulated trading account by Thinkorswim. So the coolest thing about Thinkorswim is that it gives you the option to do a simulated trading account using pretty much monopoly money. So money that's not yours per se. This is great for new traders, and this is also great for traders who are barely starting to use Thinkorswim to get the hang of things before they start risking their real money. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try to break down Thinkorswim from the left side to the right side, starting with this little toolbar right over here. So the way I pulled up this toolbar is using this little arrow that will always appear on the left side of the screen. Now on this little toolbar, you can customize it completely to your liking. All you have to do is you navigate to the plus sign right down here, and it will show you a list of different gadgets that you can add to this toolbar. The main thing that you want to add is going to be your different watch lists. So obviously, as a trader, you want to have watch list on your toolbar. Think of it as your tool belt more than it is your toolbar. So say I want to add a watch list, I simply click watch list, and as you can see, it pulls up my pennies watch list. You can create watch lists by clicking this tab, and it will give you this settings tab in which you can create a watch list. Personally, I've already created some watch lists on this simulated trading account, which must have been a very long time ago, in which I have titled daily, large cap, and pennies. Pennies is already on there, but say I want to change it to my large cap watch list, I could do so by clicking here, and it will give me all my large cap watch lists. Now say I want to add another watch list, I simply navigate back to the plus sign and I click watch list one more time, and I could change it to my liking. It already pulled up my pennies watch list, in which I was looking for anyways. Now the next thing I like to add on my tool belt is going to be live news. So obviously, as a trader, you want to be familiar with the live news at all times. I like Thinkorswim because it's a one-stop shop for everything that you need. So you simply click live news, and it will give you all the different live news that's happening currently, up to date, up to time. Now in a simulated trading account, you are under delayed data, which is 20 minutes behind. If you're under a real account, there obviously will not be delayed data. So obviously when you're using a real account, it's going to be a lot better and a lot more accurate. So that's pretty much all that I put on my toolbar, but you can add even more. So say you want to add a quick chart. So if you want to pull up a chart on something really quickly, you can simply do it by clicking here, and it will give you the quick chart right under here. Now the cool thing about Thinkorswim is that say you're under charts and say you have this little link button, you can link the color yellow with the color yellow here, and it will automatically, anytime that you pull something up, it will automatically fulfill it under your charts as soon as you click the link button. So that's just a cool little tip that you can use on Thinkorswim. We're not breaking down charts just yet. We're just breaking down the left side, and I thought this might be helpful to you. So say for example, I have this chart set on yellow, but I add another box of charts right over here in which I set to red, and say I have another chart down here in which I choose to do a quick chart on VUSI, then it automatically, anytime that I have my link set to red, it will automatically fulfill it for me, as you could see that it does right over here. I'm sorry, it didn't fulfill it, so you have to just sometimes you have to just double click it, and it will fulfill it for you anytime you link it with any chart. Now, you don't have to link anything if you're a beginner. You're obviously not going to be dealing with too many charts at once, but this may be helpful for you down the line. I'm going to go ahead and unlink everything because I don't really want anything linked at the moment, and I'm going to also delete this chart on VUSI because I don't think that it's necessary, and I don't really like having this here either, so I'm going to delete both of these. But you kind of get an idea, and also introduce you a little bit to what this little box does, but we're not going to go through this just yet. We're going to focus back on the left side, and we're going to move to the right side. So we've really already broken down the left side. The only thing we haven't talked about is your account info up here, in which you can hide and you can show. This is a $200,000 simulated trading account in which you have access to for free as a trader with Thinkorswim. Now, Thinkorswim is created by TD Ameritrade, so you need to create an account through TD Ameritrade before you can access their Thinkorswim platform. This specific Thinkorswim platform is an app that I've downloaded on my MacBook. It's not a website, it is an app. And this is the computer model. Obviously, the phone model is going to look a little bit different. Now, up here, it will show you your option buying power. It will show you your Forex buying power, in which we won't really get into, your net liquid and day trades, and then finally your cash and sweep vehicle. So this is the total amount that you have in your account, and this is the amount that you have available to you. Now, I don't want to keep looking at this, so I'm going to close it out of my way, and I'm going to go ahead and start going through these tabs from the left side to the right side. The only tabs that we're going to be focused on today is going to be the monitor tab, the trade tab, and the charts tab. Really, these are the three tabs that you're going to spend most of your time on, and so don't worry about the rest. Obviously, down the line, as you become more of an expert, you're going to start using the scan tab, the analyze tab, the option hacker, and so on and so forth. But we're only going to focus on the basics. That way you can go ahead and get started using Thinkorswim as a basic trader. So the monitor tab is pretty obvious. You monitor your positions using this tab. You have the working orders, the filled orders, the canceled orders, and the rolling strategies for options, and then finally anything that's currently open. Your working orders are going to be any orders that you have started but they're not yet fulfilled. So say for example you want to buy calls on Square, but Square is moving up so fast that when you put in your calls limit buy, it didn't fulfill yet. So it's going to stay under working orders until it gets fulfilled. Now when it gets fulfilled, it goes straight to your filled orders, and then it goes to your open position. So you will see an open position right down here. As you can see that I've already have open positions on this simulated trading account. You can see also canceled orders with this tab right over here. Obviously, I have no canceled orders because this is after hours trading, and this is a simulated trading account which I haven't used probably in years. Now, under your open positions, you can see the trade price that you got the position at. You can see the quantity of the stock that you have. You can see the mark that it's currently trading at. And then you can finally see the P&L since open. So this is how much money you've made on the stock since you've opened your position. And this is how much money you've made for the day. Obviously, today is not a trading day. It's a Sunday. So there is no P&L for the day, but there is P&L for the open because I've been in this position for a very long time. So this is the money that you've made total for the day. So subtotals and overall totals. And then finally, you can see the buying power effect that the stock has had on you since you opened the position. Down here, you can see your P&L for the year. You can see your cash and sweep vehicle. So this is the amount of money that you have to trade with, considering you have these open positions. Not really too much going on this page, but you do definitely want to keep an eye on it because you're monitoring your positions as you should at all times. Now, in the next tab that we're going to go to, and this is for my option traders, we're going to click trade and we're going to go to all products. Now, you can see that under this tab, there are little sub tabs that you can navigate to between Forex trading, if you know what that is, it's foreign exchange markets, your futures trading, which is active all the time, 24/7. Future traders, props to you. It's a really great field to be into. Active trader, which is a phenomenal tool, which It's a little bit more on the expert side. We won't really get into it, but let's just say Active Trader allows you to buy and sell positions very quickly because you're simply able to buy and sell with one click. All I have to do is click that button and it will straight buy the order for me. So it's pretty awesome, but we're not going to break it down too much. We're going to focus on all products for my option traders, and you can type in the stock symbol right over here in the corner. You can say, for example, you want to trade Microsoft. You click Microsoft. It will load up some data, and as you can see, it gives you the option chain that's available for Microsoft. On the left side, you have your expiration dates. As you can see, it gives you many expiration dates because there are many expiration dates to options in general. Say, for example, you want to buy a strike price for July 17th. You click the little arrow and it will give you all the different strike prices available accordingly to how many strike prices you want to see at once. Say, for example, you don't want to see 14 strike prices at once. You just want to see 10. You can click 10 and it will give you the nearest call strike prices up to 5 to the top and then up to the 5 to the bottom, which is a total of 10. Same thing with puts on the right side. Now, any respectable trading platforms will put their calls on the left side and their puts on the right side. If they do it otherwise, I suggest you dump them because that's just very rude. Obviously, you don't want to confuse traders. So your calls are on the left side, your puts are on the right side. And the calls will break down to implied volatility, in which you could change these tabs to anything that you like. Personally, I like to focus on implied volatility, the probability of out of the money, which I don't really focus on too much, delta, bid, and ask. If you would like to purchase an option for a strike price of $185 for Microsoft, you can simply hover over the ask price and it will show you that little buy tab right by your cursor. You can click that tab and it will pull up your order entry tool in which you can customize your position. Thinkorswim has a tendency to automatically think that everybody has hundreds of thousands in their account, so it will automatically try to make you buy 10. You can change the default value of the units that are available within that box using your settings, or you can just change it every single time manually. So say you only want to buy one like a normal person. You're going to open one. You're going to make sure that it's the right ticker symbol, make sure it's the right expiration, make sure it's the right strike. You are buying a call. And then finally, you want to focus on price. Now, we're going to go on a little tangent here because I'm going to explain to you something that most people overlook. Most traders will buy the price at whatever is given to them. But notice something about this option. Your bid is at 5.80 and your ask is at 6.95. That is $1.15 different, or $115 if you broke it down to how much the value of this option really is. So you don't want to buy things at face value. You want to bargain for your money. Why are you buying at the top of the trading range? You want to bargain to get somewhere in the middle or get somewhere closer to the bid. So the bid means that this is the amount that somebody is willing to buy at this very moment. This is the max amount somebody is willing to pay. And the ask is the max amount that somebody's willing to sell. So you obviously don't want to give in to somebody's max amount. You want to bargain for your position. So you want to take this down to somewhere near the middle. And you can see this little tab move. And you can move this back and forth to how much you want to pay for this position. Say you want to meet the sweet spot of the middle. You're going to click that. And then finally, you want to make sure you're doing a limit order. I cannot stress this enough, guys. Order types are so important for your survival in the market, because if you do a market order on this option chain, I guarantee you will get fulfilled at $6.95 and your option will already be in the negative before you even have time to monitor it. So you want to stay under limit. Limit means that this is the max amount that you're willing to pay for this option no matter what. Obviously, you can change things to stop loss, stop limit. These are different. These are selling orders, not buying orders. Finally, you want it to be good for the day, or do you want it good to close? So this would mean that you're willing to buy this option only for the day. Good to close means until it gets fulfilled, whether that's today or tomorrow or whatever it is. And finally, you want to confirm and send. It will pop up another box telling you a breakdown of what you're about to do. Your order description is obvious. Your break-even price is set. Your max profit is going to be infinite in this case because you are buying a single leg option. Now, if you're buying a multi-leg option, so if you're buying a spread, your max profit is going to be limited because you're buying a spread. Your max loss is always going to be the amount that you risked, so 665 in this point. You have a trading commission of 65 cents. That's standard with Thinkorswim with any option that you buy. This is how much buying power it will affect. So you're going to lose $665 in buying power as long as you have this position open. Your buying power for the stock and your buying power for the for the options will differ based on the type of the account that you have. You can click send to fulfill this order, or you can click delete to completely get it out of the picture. Not too hard, guys. This is how the option chain breaks down. Obviously, I could see the fear. I could see why this platform is so intimidating to new traders, because when you're looking at this at face value, you're going to be so confused, which, you know, in all honesty, it does look a little confusing. But when you break things down tab by tab and focus on the things that you really need to survive on the market, you realize that you don't use 90% of the things that are available on this platform. You end up just using a few tabs and you will have a high survival rate on the market. And then down the line, you can start learning the other tabs and how they can contribute to your success. So we've only finished the trade tab. We're going to move over to the charts tab. And now that's where you're going to be spending most of your time. This little box that I'm about to click will give you the option to add more charts to your display. So if you have a fancy 40-inch monitor that you're using and you can view 6 charts at once without being overwhelmed, be my guest. Use 6 charts and fill them up. So you can fill them up to your liking, however you like, and so on and so forth. But me, I personally like to trade 1 or 2 stocks at once or monitor 2 things at once. Now, if you have a separate monitor and you want to take this and detach it, you can choose to do so. But that would mean that you would drag it over to another monitor. So you can choose to detach this specific box and using this little button, and finally you can move it over to another screen to your liking. But we're not going to do this in this case because obviously this is a screen recording and we're only going to focus on one chart. Now with this one chart, I've pulled up AVGO by accident. I don't really mean to pull it up. I already have some indicators on here, so I'm going to go ahead and take them all out of the picture. So I'm going to go down to studies and I'm going to remove all studies because I want to show you guys what I fill up my charts with using what studies and how to add these studies. So with AVGO, I'm interested in the relative strength index, which is absolutely my favorite study. And I'm interested in volume, which is already there. And finally, I'm interested in the moving averages, which I always pay attention to. So before I add studies though, I want to show you how I got to candlestick charts. Right up here, you're going to see style, and you can click that style and go down to chart type. I have it set to candles. If you like bar charts, you can be my guest. If you like line charts, you can also be my guest and use those to your liking. So this is the chart that I like personally, so I'm going to stick to candles. Now under studies, you're going to, we're not going to get into studies yet. We're going to go to this tab where it says time frame. Under time frame, you can click 1 day, 1 minute. What that means is you can see the 1 day movement of AVGO from the gray area where it ends to the gray area where it begins. That is the full trading day, in this case of Friday, I believe May 28th, which was just 2 days ago. This is the full trading day, minute by minute basis. So every minute of movement is represented by every single candle that is represented on this chart from the beginning to end of day. If you want to see the 5 day, 5 minute, you can see that it breaks down to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 trading days. Now, if you want to zoom in to a specific part of the candles, you're just going to simply click and right drag to the chart, and you can zoom in using that. You can zoom in further, you can zoom in further, you can zoom in further. And to go back to the macro picture, you just simply double click. Now, when you double click, it takes you back to the 5 trading days. And you can play with this as much as you like. You can add time frames if you'd like. So say you want 3-minute time frames, you can customize list and add time frames to your liking. Now under this, you've already pulled up settings, so you might as well go here. If you want to represent your volume sticks as the same color as your candles, you want to make sure that it's clicked right over here, because the standard one or the default one will be under here, but you want to go here and apply and then go OK. So obviously it didn't change anything because that was already the setting. Now I want to add indicators. Finally, I want to go to studies. So what you're going to do is you're going to either click up here, or you're going to right click and go down to studies, quick study, or add study. So you always want to add study because quick study will disappear. Add study means it's going to stay on the chart. So if I go to quick study, when I go to the next chart, it's just going to disappear. Add study is going to stick to the chart. So I'm interested in adding moving averages. So I want 2 lines of moving averages. The beauty of Thinkorswim, it gives you moving average 2 lines in which you can click. Now, I want to make sure that they're set for the 10 and the 20 in this case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on them, and I'm going to make sure that the fast length is set to 10 and the slow length is set to 20. If you don't know what this means, it's going to be a whole different beast that you have to tackle, because these are indicators. We're not going through indicators. We're just going through the breakdown of Thinkorswim. You're going to click apply, and then you're going to go OK, and then you can see the moving averages will be formed right over here. Now, another thing that I want to focus on, I'm going to go to cursor. There you go. So I'm on my cursor, not my drawing tool. So another thing that I want to add is the RSI. So I'm going to right click again. I'm going to go to studies, and I'm going to go to add study. And sometimes you're not going to find what you're looking for here. So you want to go to all studies at the top, and it will give you the ABCs. So I want the relative strength index, which should be under R. And as you can see, the RSI is not here. It's going to be finally found it right over here. So I'm looking for the RSI. Thinkorswim doesn't have it stated as the relative strength index. They have it as the RSI, which is kind of weird to me. So you simply click the RSI, and it's already set to my liking. I like it set as the overbought zone at 70 and the oversold zone at 30. Now, some argue that it's 80 that's overbought and 20 that's oversold, but that's really up to your comfort level. If you want to change it, you double click on it, and you can change the overbought area to 80 and the oversold to 30, and then apply and go on with your life. But that's just simple. That's my breakdown. I like to play things safe. It's completely up to you what you want to do. But I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to go finally through this tab on the right. If you want to go to Active Trader, you simply click Active Trader. If you guys are familiar with what Active Trader is, it's the one I just mentioned earlier of being able to buy and sell very quickly. If you want to go to big buttons, so you want to turn off the Active Trader and you want to go to big buttons, so say you have AVGO open and you want to be able to buy and sell quickly, you can just adjust how many you want. You can go to 10, buy market, boom, execute your order. And that's all done on the big buttons tab right over here. If you don't want to do that here, you can do that at the top. As you can see, it gives you the option to do that here as well. So there's many ways that you can buy and sell using Thinkorswim. Here's another thing that we forgot to mention. So when it comes to buying and selling on Thinkorswim, if you are using big buttons, for example, you don't want to click sell. So say you own 10 stocks of AVGO and you want to close out of the position. You don't want to sell using the sell market, because say you sell 10 but you accidentally put 11. In this case, you're going to realize that you have now shorted one stock. So shorting a stock is a different beast. It takes a little bit more expertise. It just means that you are selling the stock before you own it at a higher price and then buying it back from your broker at a lower price and keeping the difference. That is just, the very quick elevator pitch of what shorting stocks is. Now, if you don't know what shorting stocks is, then I suggest you make sure that you don't press the sell market if you don't have any open positions. So say you don't own AVGO at all and you wanted to sell AVGO, you can still sell it, and Thinkorswim will recognize it as a short order. But what you can do to play it safe every time is under monitor. You can go and you can just simply right click your position and you can create a closing order, and you can sell 100 shares in which I own, and it will automatically close those 100 shares. So I think that's it. I think that was pretty much all the basics of Thinkorswim. I don't think I missed anything, and if I did, please leave your questions down below. I would be more than happy to do a further explanation of everything I explained. The reason why I didn't go too much of drawing on these charts and showing you how to use the drawing tools is because I personally use TradingView to draw on my charts. I find it to be a lot it's more user-friendly. It's called tradingview.com. For those of you who didn't sign up, it is a free platform that you can use to chart and to use drawing tools and mess around with charts all you want. I just personally don't like the way Thinkorswim has the drawing tools available, so you can kind of switch around to your liking. But with that being said, I hope you guys took a lot in from this video. Obviously, on a mobile device, it's going to be a lot different, but the tabs are still the same, so it shouldn't be too much of a difficult transition to go back and forth. If you guys have any questions, please leave them below. Please subscribe, and we hope to see you down the line. Like this video if you feel like you learned something, and share it with your friends. Again, thanks for checking in. The Hyperstocks community, we appreciate you for being in our community. Thanks again. Have a great day.